Week 1 of the fantasy football season. Here's a few kickers I have as sleepers this week. The first kicker, Tyler Loop of the Baltimore Ravens. Now with Justin Tucker, longtime kicker, out off the field issues, Tyler Loop stepping in as the kicker for this Baltimore Raven team. And we know this Raven team last season, one of the highest scoring teams in the league. This week, even in a tougher matchup at the Buffalo Bills, I think Baltimore is going to go out there and get opportunity scoring points, especially in the kicking game. And Tyler Loop, he's been good in preseason. Some hype coming in with him as well. And he's available right now in tons of fantasy leagues at 84%. So if you want some upside and someone on a good offense where opportunities will be there all season long, I like Tyler Loop this week. The next kicker, Chad Ryland of the Arizona Cardinals. This Cardinal team, good matchup to start the season in New Orleans. They're going to be one of the worst teams in the league is New Orleans. Ryland out there, 98% of fantasy leagues. And he had some big games last season as well, is Ryland, where he was pretty steady. He hit 4 50-plus yarders and also 740 to 49-yard range field goals was Ryland. So this week with an indoor game in New Orleans, they're going to give up a lot of points. And he's on a pretty solid offense when you got Kyler Murray, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison, James Conner. So those guys obviously can move the football down the field. And like I said, Ryland was a highly touted kicker many years ago with the New England Patriots, but he definitely found a home with this Cardinal team. And this week with a good matchup and an indoor matchup, which is always a plus, obviously, for a kicker, not dealing with the elements. He's definitely a decent sleeper option this week. And the final kicker I have as a sleeper is Jake Moody of the San Francisco 49ers. So he was a highly touted kicker as well a couple seasons ago, but misses have definitely been a problem for Jake Moody, where he's got the distance, but the accuracy hasn't been there. But he's in a good offense, obviously. This could be a high-scoring game between two division rivals with the 49ers going to the 12th man in Seattle. And like I said, Moody, if he could just figure out that accuracy, he could be one of the better kickers this season in fantasy football. That's the type of upside he has. And also this Niner team, they took him with a pretty high draft pick in the NFL draft a few years ago. I believe it was the 3rd or 4th round. The 49ers took Jake Moody. So available 94% of fantasy leagues in a potential high-scoring game at the Seahawks. He could put up some points. So that's a few kickers. I have his sleepers for week 1 of the fantasy football season.